I want to welcome Coach Curran, men's basketball coach on Facebook Live. As he's not feeling well today, so we're going to have Coach Prather fill in for him. And why don't you move up a little bit to the mic there? Maybe bring it down a little bit for you. Does that work?
Okay. Yes.
So we've got Rocki Tello here.
Yes, that's
junior
me.
softball player from Katy, Texas. Is that correct?
Katy. Well, I just moved out of Katy, but Houston.
Houston.
Yes.
She's a H-Town girl.
I am. My whole life.
H-Town sports.
Wait, what? Like Houston?
Yeah.
Like
the Rockets.
Rockets, Astros, Texans, not Dallas Cowboys, but don't like them that much, but
So you had a chance over Christmas break for a week to go out of country. Tell us a little bit about what you did. The softball team went to Costa Rica through the Tiger Athletic Missions experience, the TAME experience. First athletic team to do this and to go on an international trip for softball ever. And the whole team went along with several administrators from ETBU to help monitor and help out on this trip. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this trip and what you guys did. First, let's talk about your experience. Was this the first time you've ever been out of country?
yes, this was my very first time to be out of the country, and for many other people it was too, and also for some people it was their first time on an airplane too. So a lot of people were really having bad anxiety, but thankfully I was okay. But the experience was amazing. I know that before this trip I was really anxious about the trip, but I was really nervous about it because I didn't really know what to expect on this trip. And I think that's something that I have learned was to not have expectations going on a mission trip, because if you do have expectations it just doesn't turn out the way that you wanted it to be, it's just disappointed. You'll just be disappointed. But I went in there I was really excited, really nervous. I was excited about playing against the Costa Rica national team. We were able to play them twice, and just learning a different culture there. It's a lot different than here. It was definitely a culture shock. But where we stayed at the YWAM base, and that was a really cool experience. We were able to meet a lot of different kinds of people. And one morning we had a worship morning, and we were all able to worship. It was amazing to see that all of us could worship in 3 different languages at the same time. And I think my favorite experience was, I think it was our second or our third day there. We had the Bible distribution, and we all separated into about 3 or 4 people to a group, and my group was Dr. Blackburn. We had a translator with us who was also the videographer, Caitlin Hollingshead, Megan Gardner, and Heaven McDonald. And we went to door, handing out Bibles to different families that didn't know Christ and didn't know how to read the Word of God. And thankfully we were able to meet this one lady. Her name was Gabby, and I couldn't remember her last name. And she spoke English, thankfully, because we were trying to be translators and talk in Spanish with the script in our hands. And that was difficult, but it was great. And she welcomed us into her home, and she used to work for the U.S. Embassy, so she spoke really good English. And she welcomed us in, and she shared her testimony with us. And she gave us snacks and gave us juice and offered us coffee. And we were in her house for about an hour. And she was so thankful for us to give her a Bible, because she said that she had been struggling with reading and just going to church, just trying to find another church again. And as soon as she shared her testimony with us, afterwards she prayed with us. And after she prayed with us, we were about to leave her home, and I was the last one out the door. And I was just saying bye, gave her a hug, and she had said, "Hey, are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, you know." And before this trip, I had was really struggling with a lot of things in my life, and so her testimony just gave me a lot of hope and things for my life, and just things that I struggled with. She had struggled with too, and so just hearing her was just, it hit me hard. It really touched my heart a lot. And whenever she was able to speak, I immediately started crying. And as she like grabbed me and was like, well, there looks like there's something that's bothering you, and I really want to pray for you. And so as soon as everybody was out the door and I was still in her house praying with her for like 5 extra minutes, and then she said she wanted to like stay in contact with me, so she gave me her email address, and we've been emailing back and forth to each other. And I think that was the most that was my God moment for sure, just knowing that like the Lord was with us, and that just showing grace upon someone that I didn't know, that was a complete stranger, and now here I am. I talk to her almost once a week at least now.
Wow. Isn't it so cool to see how God works like that when you feel like you're the only person struggling with this, and you can't quite figure it out, and you're trusting, but then you're still having a hard time, and then he places that person in your life in the most unexpected time and unexpected person, and it turns into a relationship that'll help you grow.
Yes, definitely.
And and that, like you said, that was your God moment for this trip. As you said, you can't go with expectations on missions trips.
Correct.
So wow, that kind of give me goosebumps, because that's always great to hear these stories. And I'm assuming that every single player probably had their own God moment on this trip.
Correct.
As they learned more about themselves, their walk with Christ, and even what it means to serve. As you guys got to serve Costa Rica and the people down there, and even witnessing to people, that takes a lot of bold moves to go out and talk to people in another language. So my question, moving away from that, is how cool was it to travel with your team? To meet up in Houston, get on a flight, fly down to Costa Rica, and be all together on a plane, going a long distance like that.
Well, I think the furthest we've ever been together as a team was like Sol Ross State, going on a bus.
Because the trip out there on the bus is 10 hours, and your flight from Houston to Costa Rica was what, 4?
Yes, but it was a cool experience. Of course, everybody was looking at us at the airport like, oh, who are they? Because we're all matching. But I know for a lot of us, everyone was like really just nervous, like, oh my gosh, I've never been on a plane, like I need gum, like my ears are popping. But it was great. It was good to see our team bond and grow closer together throughout this trip. On the way there, you could kind of see some people wanting to reach out to others and be like, hey, like let's talk more. And then at the end of the trip, you could see like there were so many other people that were just being friends with people you weren't expecting them to be, and it was cool to see more friendships grow. And I could definitely see that now as we've been back here on campus, for sure.
As you've opened up practice this week, can you see a difference from like your freshman and sophomore year and how the team is compared to this year?
I definitely could see it. There's people that come and go and graduate, of course, but we have a whole new group of girls, really. We have a lot of girls on our team, and there's a lot of potential and a lot of talent on our team, and I'm excited to see us just keep growing together spiritually and together, just bonding as a team when we're out there.
How neat was it to play in Costa Rica and down there and see what they play in and on, and experience an international game?
It was a very different experience. We didn't, like I said, we didn't know what to expect.
Right.
When the first day that we played against them, we had to walk about 20 minutes to the field where it was, because we couldn't find it. But we had eaten dinner before that, and we didn't know where it was, and we showed up about an hour and a half earlier than they did. They showed up about maybe 20 minutes before the game was about to start, and we were wondering where all their girls were, because we had just finished warming up, and they were just arriving there at the field. But definitely it was different, because softball is not very known in Costa Rica, and it's a new sport to them. And so when there were people that were with us, the people that were leading us throughout the whole trip, like through YWAM, Jesus and Paloma were the ones that were helping us throughout the whole trip. They had never been to a softball game before, and they were amazed, and they were taking videos and pictures of everything, and they were enjoying all of our cheers. But it was great. I would say like I said, it's not very known there, and they don't really know how to know the sport as well as we do
Right.
here. But just playing against them and being able to, we connected with them afterwards. After each game that we played against them, we were able to try to talk to them. There were a couple of the girls on their team that spoke English, so they were able to translate for us when we were talking to the girls.
And
on
there
their
was
team.
one moment I saw that I think either Caitlin sent back through the blog that after one of the games you had a chance to all come together and pray, and she shared her testimony, and it looked like
Yes.
that was a major impact to everybody there.
Yes, it was amazing. Caitlin, she shared it. I think it was the second time that we played against the national team there, and after she shared her testimony with us, we all were able to pray together. But we had one of the girls on the Costa Rica team translated every word that Caitlin was saying back to their team, and they were really touched by the way that she knows the Lord now, and that how the Lord has changed her throughout the years that she's been here at ETBU.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So if you haven't seen or read about the trip to Costa Rica, go to goetbutigers.com, click on the drop-down menu, and go to the softball website. There's a whole website there that you can click on that'll take it and show you all the blogs from every day from their trip. There's a couple videos, some great pictures from down there that everybody took. So go check it out and see how they were affected from Costa Rica. So, Rocki, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having
me. Good luck
me.
this season as we're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to another great season.
Yes, sir. All right, thanks.
So